However, that's that. We've clarified. Let's move on now to our first topic. And our first topic, and actually our first two topics, now I think about it, is going to be about Apple. Because here's the thing. WWDC took place, it took place today. And I think it's like one of the first things, like one of the first Apple presentations that has been strictly online. You know, Macworld, Apple tends to have like a really showy force at these conventions when they announce the new products. And that's one of the charms of their presentation. You get a bunch of people in a room and you announce new features, new products. And even though from a distance, logically, you can say, that's not exactly going to change my life. Like when Apple did the Apple Card. It's a credit card. It's not that big of a deal. But Apple can put the showmanship into it that can make everyone sitting in that room say, I want that. That I want. I cannot live without that. And so as a result, their first all-digital presentation is kind of interesting. Now, I can't speak to what it felt like for Apple fans to be watching it. I'll ask my buddy Zach later. But that said, there have been some announcements, and let's talk about some of these announcements. Some of them are kind of cool, some of them maybe not so much. But anyway, so like for example, like new Macs will run on Apple-made chips. Okay, they're basically going to save money by cutting out the middleman, kind of like what Panda Express is doing. But here's something that's more interesting, because iOS 4 has actually been announced, and it will make the phone more customizable. So here's what's going on with iOS 4. The latest version of Apple's mobile operating system adds a new home screen, which I assume that's what this is. And I'm not going to lie, if there's one thing about Apple products that is nice, Apple products look cool. They absolutely look cool. I'm still missing the buttons. I think a button is still very, very valuable even in this day and age. But look, they've got the clock, they've got the App Store, they've got all that. They've got all these nice displays. Oh, by the way, look, Apple stock. They can't help but brag about their Apple stock. Of course, I do want to point out something. My Samsung has done this for years. So if this stuff is new, and again, I don't use Apple products. My wife does. I don't. Then little late to the game. But then the Apple Pro was not the Apple Pro, the iPod Pro. The iPad Pro was also like 3 years late than the Microsoft Surface, and everyone said that the Surface was not that important and it wasn't revolutionary. But then when Apple does it, but anyway, can you tell I'm an Apple cynic? Let's continue. Let's get back to what they've announced. The new app library includes all downloaded apps automatically organized into folders, starting with Siri suggestions based on your typical app use, and recently added. With this new feature making it easy to find whatever you're looking for, you can now hide pages from view to get yourself even more streamlined. Widgets are also getting a new look, as well as the ability to be dragged from the widget panel to your home screen. So it sounds like all of this is fairly new. Siri will no longer take over your whole screen when you activate it. Okay? Instead, appearing as a small overlay near the bottom of the screen. Also, a new translate feature claims to give anyone the ability to hold real-time conversations with others who speak different languages. That would be a pretty cool feature, I'm not going to lie, if they can get it to work. These cloud-powered translations appear to be similar to Google Translate on Android phones. The picture-in-picture feature lets you continue to watch videos while multitasking on your phone screen. I'm going to be honest. First of all, I've had that feature for a long time, but I disable them because I actually think that that's more annoying than it's worth. And they've got a full roundup of all the latest on the iOS. Now, here's some of the new announcements. Apple is considering reimagining car keys. Car key fobs. So, what do they say here? Well, car key fobs are the biggest, bulkiest, and ugliest item on your keychain. But within the next few years, you'll be able to unlock, start, and share car access with our phones. Apple's car experience engineering manager Emily Schubert demonstrated the iPhone's newest car unlocking features on the 2021 BMW 5 Series. Just use the phone's built-in NFC chip to tap to unlock your car, place your phone on the charging pad, and tap a button to start your car. Well, I see nothing wrong going with this if you don't have a password, or say someone you know, like a buddy of yours knows your phone password, which I guess is rare, but you know. So yeah, I guess you can use your your iPhone to start your car. That's interesting. So iPad OS 14 becomes more like a computer. So the latest version of iPad OS includes a lot of the same enhancements coming to iOS 14 for iPhone, but Apple seems determined to actually utilize the real estate of the larger tablet. One example of this is a new sidebar, one that will appear in the Photos, Notes, Files, and Music apps. It pops out of the left-hand side of app screens and is supposed to offer easier navigation and better organization of app files. A Siri shortcut will now appear on the bottom right of certain app screens. And incoming phone calls will no longer interrupt what you're doing and take up the entire screen. Kind of like my Samsung does. Also, the iPad Pencil is going to get an update, so for those of you who care. The Mac OS and Safari, they're getting an overhaul, so basically a redesign. That's fine. I'm currently using the Microsoft Edge as my browser, and that got like a really neat overhaul recently, so you know. And seamless device switching is coming to AirPods. Okay, that's cool. And as for the watch, sleep and hand washing features for the Watch OS 7. Now, this is kind of funny. You see this little video here? This is encouraging you how long to wash your hands. Like this is funny. Like by increments, Apple is slowly turning the Apple Watch into the most comprehensive wearable available. When it ships later this year, Watch OS 7 will finally have something competitors have had for years: sleep features. My wife is going to love this. The Apple Watch will soon get features including a wind-down routine to start locking down your phone before bed, sleep, monitoring of micro movements as you breathe, a variety of wake-up alarms, and a sleep mode which dims the screen at night. The watch will also get a hand-washing detector and countdown to make sure you're sudsing off all the germs. No word on if it will shame non-hand washers into going back to the bathroom, though. Probably not. I also assume that the Apple Watch is waterproof, or else this would be a completely useless feature. Other new features include new dance workouts and a plethora of new watch faces, including a tachymeter, large font faces, and new third-party and personalized watch faces. Finally, the watch will also get a new battery notification when you wake up because the battery life is still terrible. That's their words, not mine. So, anyway, my announcement, and again, you figure this out. I am an Apple cynic. Honestly, if Apple products cost the same as regular phones, I could care less. But they're adding features that have been available for years to Android users. And like I said, my Samsung, everything that's announced here, except for maybe the hand washing thing, has been on my phone for a long time already. And that doesn't convince me to buy an Apple product. Also, I do still use my headphone jacket, and I still like buttons on my phone. I really do. So, but that's just me. I'm kind of wondering, do I have any hardcore Apple fans in the live stream? Well, if I do, nobody's saying anything. So I guess let's see here. So anyway, but you know the drill. So that's my thoughts on all this new Apple stuff. It's, in my opinion, not that big of a deal. But maybe you are different. Maybe you are an Apple fanatic and you need to spread the gospel of Apple to me and explain why this is so revolutionary. Hey, I welcome those comments. I totally welcome those comments. So you know the drill. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly.